Election time in Kenya is a time of great excitement and a time when many Kenyans, both men and women, offer their expertise, energies, and are ready to dedicate their lives to public service. Kenyans have regularly gone to the polls, but throughout the country's electoral history since independence, one sad reality is the fact that women candidates and voters have borne the brunt of electoral violence and their quest for political leadership made even harder. Determined to play an active role in changing this sad face of our country's history and play an even greater role in making sure that the March 4th, 2013 elections are different, peaceful and free of violence, especially against women, Kenyan women came together and embraced the concept of the Women's Situation Room.
The Women's Situation Room is a process of promoting women's active participation in democratic electoral process. This is in accordance to the United Nations Security Resolution 1325 and 1820 that underscores the importance of women to participate in peace-building initiatives.
The Women's Situation Room started in 2011 in Liberia when there was a presidential election in which eventually elected was Ellen Johnson Sirleaf as president of Liberia. The women of Liberia decided that there was definitely a propensity for violence in our elections. So we called together the women of Liberia, all the different organizations. We then decided at that meeting that we will go ahead and engage the youth of Liberia and we'll engage all the stakeholders in the electoral process so that we could go towards peaceful, non-violent elections.
The Women's Situation Room comprised of the National Women's Steering Committee and was made up of several organizations in the women's movement, led by the Maendeleo ya Wanawake organization, the Caucus for Women Leadership, and the Women Political Alliance.
We were able to coordinate all our members from the ground, elected members. We were able to pass the word of the 1195 hotline which was launched. We were able to monitor whether women were going through gender and violence problems, which of course we must say it was extremely peaceful.
The Women's Situation Room was also made up of a team of eminent persons that constituted of respected neutral players, emissaries and goodwill ambassadors who served as observers and expert mediators. The team played a key role in supporting and encouraging dialogue among different stakeholders before, during and after the March 4th elections.
It was out of this world. All these years since independence, we have never had a place for women candidates. This time we had. We had lots of discussions with political parties, party heads in particular, all of them, over peace issues and especially violence that is always been associated with elections being meted on women. And they gave us a lot of support.
It was a very holistic approach and very inviting. And the women themselves also came to share their own experiences, and they felt like there was a space for them. That is a special space where they could be and where situations, for example, issues of gender-based violence could be addressed and mitigated before they flared up in any way. So in that sense, it was quite unique. It was very vibrant. It was very much needed. And I think the uniqueness also was that we were tapping into other mechanisms. For example, UYANO, through UYANO, the National Steering Committee had its own early warning and response mechanism. We tapped into theirs. There were other NGOs who also had their own mechanisms. So we shared the information. So in that sense, we were able to reach a larger population apart from the 500 observers who we had trained ourselves.
The work that the eminent persons did is remarkable. It is noted that we did a good job. And for the first time, we lobbied for women candidates. We also lobbied for peaceful elections, which I'm happy to say we were successful, because I remember we traversed the country. Nobody knew what we were doing. We were working underground, but our work was felt, and it was indeed very successful. And therefore, I must say that a lot of good work was put in place, and I must say thank you to those people who brought the idea to Kenya.
We had, of course, ambassadors, that's in the national communities, and also the former President Chesano, who came and shared with us, and the First Lady. So there were few people, but we were well represented. And I believe that we delivered in the name of the voices of other women in this country and also in Africa.
Like all Africans, we're really looking at Kenya and wanting to make sure that Kenya comes out of this election peacefully and that the Kenyans are able to exercise their democratic right freely, and that Kenya should know that all of us are wishing Kenya very well.
It is rewarding to see my Kenyan sisters are united for peace in Kenya and have embraced the concept of the Women's Situation Room, WSR, to secure peaceful elections in March. All citizens of Kenya, regardless of your political affiliation, deserve peace. We are with you.
The Women's Situation Room Kenya also provided a platform for women and youth to actively participate in ensuring peaceful election through election observation and rapid response. It also played an active role in ensuring that incidents of election violence were minimized and provided women and youth with a platform to strategize, plan, and respond rapidly to issues that were likely to lead to election violence. There is no doubt that the Women's Situation Room Kenya played an important role in ensuring that there was an enabling environment for Kenyan women as candidates, voters, observers, and electoral staff during the March 4, 2013 elections. After one of the most competitive and peaceful campaigns and elections in Kenya's history, 87 of the 416 seats in the newly established National and Senate chambers will be held by women. Previously, just 22 women sat in the old 222-seat parliament.
We are very excited that actually we have 69 in the National Assembly and we have 18 in the Senate. So we have about 20% in Parliament. So of course this is a huge leap from the 9.8% in the 10th Parliament. And what we want to do now is work with these women. And on the one hand, of course, we'll also build their capacity because not everybody is at the same level. Some of them have been in politics, they have been in Parliament and in leadership positions for a long time. Others, this is the beginning for them. So we will also assess the capacity and make sure that we build where it is needed. It also provides an opportunity now to be really talking about the gender agenda and creating an accountability mechanism, because now when they are in Parliament, they are also accountable to those who are not.
I am very, very excited about this, because for the first time this country will know what the women are made of and what passion they have for this nation. I know that they will bring in ideas of nationhood so that we no longer have all these tribal nations that developed over the years. And I would like to appeal to them to, of course, work with the political parties, but also isolate issues that concern women in this country and come together and work on those issues, without being influenced by their political parties, especially when the political party takes a stand that is different from that of the interest of women. I believe that they will come together across the political parties and discuss these issues thoroughly before even presenting them to the lower or the upper house.
Indeed, the March 4th, 2013 election has ushered in a new, refreshing dawn for Kenyan women. We believe these women have the capacity, passion and desire to play a major role in this exciting and transformational moment in our country's history, and we wish them all the best.